What's going on, folks? Welcome to Mystics Outlook. We got Cardell Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons here this evening. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. The Washington Mystics. This losing streak to start the season has continued. They lose a franchise worst. This is the worst start of franchise history officially now, with their ninth consecutive loss. They're 0-9 on the year, falling to the Connecticut Sun, 76-59. You know how we've been talking about the little things all throughout the season to this point. So, of course, tonight they check the box on one of those things that they haven't done well most of the year. They out-rebound the freaking Sun without Shakira Austin and Brittany Sykes. But then they also, so they turned the ball over 2 times more than Connecticut did. But Connecticut scored 24 points over those turnovers. Connecticut boat race Washington in the third quarter, 26-10, and that was literally the game. And that's why this season's been frustrating to this point. Ray, we'll start with you, and then Cardell, just your thoughts on just another tough outing for Washington.
Yeah, man, they lost the game in the third quarter. And it, like you said, and you continue to say it'd be one thing if they just got stomped every game, if they were just a rebuilding team with a lack of talent, and it just is what it is. It's a little easier to live with, man. But and I mean, granted, they're not fully healthy, but at the same time, they're still being competitive to a certain extent. Like tonight, it was just one quarter where everything kind of went to hell. But for the most part, they were, they went toe to toe with a team that's undefeated. They were up going into the half, and then they hit a rough patch. I think that's a little indicative of of them not having a primary ball handler. Van Loo, she's filling that gap. But I mean, they go from Natasha Cloud, who's been here and been steady, to someone new in that position, and they're just getting used to their teammates trying to figure it out, on top of not having a full roster. So I mean, that stuff's going to rear its ugly head at times. And tonight it was just in that third quarter, man, it just showed up in the worst way. But they still fight, like you pointed out. They out rebounded them. And the Sun, they're one of, if not the most physical team in the league, with for a big front court. Alyssa Thomas, we all know what she does. To be able to contain them in that area that's a big win. They just weren't able to put the pieces together and as a whole. But yeah, man, they got to get healthy. And second, they gotta plug the holes that are there, man. They shot too many threes tonight. They shot 29 threes, made 6 of them. At some point, you got to go to something else. They're not falling. It's not working. Leah Edwards has it going. She's a rookie. She's she's developing. She's learning. In a game like this, see what she can turn it into. The Sun were having trouble dealing with her. You got to ride that. You've got nothing to lose at this point. You're winless. Things are going south rather quickly. You got to try to get a victory any way you can. But yeah, man, it's a tough start to the season. They just got to find a way to break the seal at some point.
Cardell.
It always comes back to the little things, turnovers, and they can't make shots because they can't get easy shots. And when good teams like Connecticut zero in on you, wears you down. Obviously, off night from Atkins, but the third quarter, that's the telltale sign that, just looked at some things. They had 5 turnovers, and they were 2 for 15 in the quarter. The other points they scored were from the free throw line. That's a game. The other quarters, they were right there. Um, you can't give up an undefeated team at their place. You're competitive. This game is close. Well, you can't get outscored by 16, and you can't have a quarter where you make 2 shots. You're too talented for that. And I'm looking at Atkins, because Atkins is my girl, favorite Mystic. She got to step it up. Like she got to, or the win. The hell's gonna keep piling on, man. 3 for 12. She didn't shoot that many threes, but she was just off. She just had one of them shooting nights. It happens, but you got to find a way to get these baskets, and that's tough because Julie Van Loo. But I always say, scout report catches up. Now, at first they didn't know how to guard her, so she had a free reign. Now they backing up off her crowd in the paint, taking away her passing lanes and daring her to shoot threes, and she's 1 for 5. Dawson's 1 for 6. I'm not, I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna go there, man. Hey, mother time, bro. Mother time, man. It's tough. It's tough. Just keeping it a buck. And then you got to deal with Alyssa and the Bonner and Brianna Jones. Come on, man. It is what it is. Now, Maisha Island, solid game, 10 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. That's pretty much all they got from off the bench. And the other rookie who we've been talking about, you got to pay attention to if you actually watch the games, Aaliyah Edwards, 14 points and 9 rebounds. I'm pretty confident saying those are her career highs for both categories thus far in her young career. 5'11", another bright spot. She did her job, filled in nicely for Shakira and all that. The vets didn't show up. If the vets show up, it could have been a different. They could have got their first win against the undefeated team, ended that undefeated streak, man. So for the Mystics, man, they're always right there. It's just a quarter or half a quarter or the end of the game where they just don't execute. Too many mental lapses. Self-inflicting issues that cost them games, man. And that's what's frustrating. It's like what Ray said. They have the talent to not be in this position, but a lot of times they're the cause of them being in this position. It's not even necessarily the other team. They're helping the team beat them. They're beating themselves. And that's what you got again tonight in many ways.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough, like you mentioned, because we're just coming off taping the focus, talking about our rookies that people aren't talking about. I thought Leah had a really solid night tonight, but turnovers were everything. 24 points off turnovers in a game like this. That was almost the margin right there. Obviously we know, getting easy shots isn't, it's hard to get easy shots against Connecticut. They're undefeated for a reason. However, it just is so far just continue to sum up the season so far, just not capitalizing on opportunities. Just at the worst and the most opportune times, they're seldom able to capitalize on it and end up having to try to dig themselves out of a hole. And as you both mentioned, against good teams, you can't get them that much rope. And it's as simple as that. You give good teams an extra opportunity for them to get right. More often than not, don't get right. Player of the game.
Sheesh.
Probably go DB, man. She 36, but she still gets to it.
The other way, Devonna Bonner for sure. She was cooking them. And even though we had our show and all that, every time I look up at the game, jumper and one runner. Like, yeah, about his business as usual. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 50% from the field, 60 from 3. Yep, all in a day's work.
All right, let's move on to X Factor.
Yeah, this where this is definitely tough. Man, I might have to go Ty Harris, man. Ty Harris, 14 points, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 4 of 8, control the game. Especially on the night where Alyssa Thomas was all 3 for 10. It's crazy. She off and she still was working on the show. But to tell you how nice she is, man. But
default setting.
Yeah, bro.
Like
facts. It is. But she just efficient, man. You know I am about point guards, man. You know, control of the game, 60, six assists and 1 turnover. Assist to turnover ratio was crazy, but she was 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. So when she had to get to it, she got to it efficiently. When she had to help others get to it, she made sure they got to it efficiently. And yeah, it's just tough, man. And I know she had a lot to do with that third quarter run because the game was close and they came out and it was all she wrote, man. So yeah, she definitely, and then she controlled the pace. That's one other thing watching the game. She knew when to speed the game up, to wear them down once they had them down on the third. She knew when to slow it up when they weren't getting good shots to prevent the Mystics from getting a rhythm to get back in the game. And that's just a sign of a savvy point guard.
Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, man, I can't argue with that. I think the biggest thing, like Cardell pointed out, Alyssa Thomas, had an uncharacteristic off night, as well as Dejanay Carrington, who's been playing extremely well to start the season. You go into this game and you say the Mystics going to out rebound the Sun, and two of the Sun starters are going to, not perform well under their standard. You think they'd be in a pretty good spot, but yeah, Ty Harris definitely stepped in. It was and did a good job as DB's running mate tonight.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I was about to jump in when y'all were deliberating. Just be like, my vote was for Ty Harris. She's continued to kind of carve out her role in the W. And Connecticut got them another talented guard. Her and Dejanay already. We know the hell they bring on the defensive end. But she really stepped up tonight. Like you said, Alyssa's pretty much that's pretty much Alyssa's show to run. So when that's a hell of a luxury. That's also one of the reasons they're undefeated is your default setting triple doubles a little off. Cool, I'll play point guard tonight. No problem. Got you. But shout out to Connecticut being 9-0, man. Like seriously, because with all this stuff that's making headlines in the W, this isn't one of them, even though it should be. They've started the season fast, and they haven't slowed up at all. And then, for Washington, it's 3 more games this week, 2 of them at home. They got a back-to-back Thursday and Friday. Y'all already know who they playing. I'm not getting into all that. So we'll see y'all then. I'm sorry. That's all I have left of me, Ray. I apologize. Nothing else.